Everyone's gonna think I'm baiting him with the same music than the Japanese drifty boy shit. Oh shit.
know just who to call. In times two, Ghostbusters in this bitch, watch me take your boo. Table full of kings, watch that boy fold. No cap up in my breath, but everything I say is bold. Paranoia, check the people drive through bank. I took your Cinco, took your bitch, called that shit repo pops and Skittles, going beast mode. What's in your cup? Dirty Dan, dirty cup. Go drink it up. Now a motherfucker stuck, you think you hot shit. Ain't no skill, that shit with luck. Got the dope from the D, and I stay with the bucks. Don't take no wheels, cash coming bills. Yo, short like gills, wrist wet like bills. Wrist class like milk, got balls wholesale. Low key can't tell, got Zenos like a deal. Fuck a Lambo, whip a casket, I'm flashing my hands in 3 hits and pass it back. Now I'm spazzing, blow your mind just like some magic. Living lavish, took some practice, goddamn it, I made it happen. Get the fuck up on my back of your pockets, making me laugh. Turn the black to ash, time my words to cash. 6 big whipping, now I'm dipping when I hit the gas. You said you dripping fresh, but I don't see no splash. You see the pockets, they be fat, ain't no end to that. Yeah.
Rider, buster, you need it, I'll bleed it. Geeking off a perkin', bitch, I'm feeling like a demon. Bitch, I came in, drifting on the pavement. Pass me the stainless, I'm mask off, faceless. Rider, buster, you need it, I'll bleed it. Geeking off a perkin', bitch, I'm feeling like a demon. Bitch, I came in, drifting on the pavement. Pass me the stainless, I'm mask off, faceless. Fuck it up, bitches fuck with me like a double cup. Pouring up, pull up to the scene with a double dutch. Buckle up, racing on the street with a muscle front. Huddle up, fucking with my team, y'all be coming up. Ooh, none of these bitches ever heard about you. Zooming through the block with the murdered out. Cool, bulling with the Glock, I could do without you. Running with the clock, they forgot about you. Get rock, I'm tight with your bitch like a ziplock. Wristwatch, icy with the drip when it's hit top. Breast top, yeah, I caught a body with a headshot. Guess not, I'm a chili pepper, bitch, I'm red hot. Rider, buster, you need it, I'll bleed it. Geeking off a perkin', bitch, I'm feeling like a demon. Bitch, I came in, drifting on the pavement. Pass me the stainless, I'm mask off, faceless. Rider, buster, you need it, I'll bleed it. Geeking off a perkin', bitch, I'm feeling like a demon. Bitch, I came in, drifting on the pavement. Pass me the stainless, I'm mask off, faceless. They don't like me, bitches wanna fight me. Hot in my white tee, shorty wanna bite me. Hot, she excite me, shorty Aphrodite. Hot, stepping lightly, fucking with a Pisces. Give me top, I can never really rock. Hot, hot, really thought with your bitch I really talk. Hot, hot, live a lot, shock a bitch a kilowatt. Hot, hot, pick a lock, I'm about to kill a thought. Hot, shorty gon' bust it for me, fucking her friends rights for the free. Fuck her like Adam and Eve. Now she wants something with me. Sure, I just wanna believe love isn't nothing for me. I know she gunning for me. Fuck it, I'm drugging the peace. Rider, buster, you need it, I'll bleed it. Geeking off a perkin, bitch, I'm feeling like a demon. Bitch, I came in, drifting on the pavement. Pass me the stainless, a mask all faceless. Rider, buster, you need it, I'll bleed it. Geeking off a perkin, bitch, I'm feeling like a demon. Bitch, I came in, drifting on the pavement. Pass me the stainless, a mask all faceless.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Amethyst Racing. Why is it not oh, my game has crashed. You'll have to give me a minute. Hello, hello, and welcome back. Would it like to find my game now? There we go. We get ready for the final race of the season. It is Japan. The Suzuka track, the goated track of great history. We have 13 drivers on track today, as we have Van Dijk coming around the famous 130R, where Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher went through side by side. Fernando on the outside, a historic moment. My fave track is back. No one is currently on a hot lap, but the man who's starting his lap is going to be Mr. Van Dijk. Thank you very much for the subscription, Alcatraz, sorry. As we come through into turn 3, the winding, snaking section of Sector 1. This is where most of the time can be gained and lost, other than Spoon. Spoon, known to be in a tricky part of the corner where easily to invalidate or eat too much curb and go around. Last time we was here, the Tier 1 boys kept it clean until the final few laps where everyone died. But here we have Van Dijk now entering the second sector. This one's all about how quickly can you get this corner car around this sharp left-hander. The only real tricky corner in the second sector Other than the second corner of it, of course, which is known for seeing some invalidations. But Van Dijk has kept it between the white lines so far as he now comes up to Spoon. Has a Ferrari in front of him. Handley moves out the way. But will the turbulent ever affect his entrance into the first part of this double left-hander as he's now onto the big straight? Fuck you. As he starts the final sector, coming in to 130R, flat out around there, and this is where Zerveld was a little cunt. A little fucking cunt. But Van Dijk suffers no fate the same as he rounds the final corner and drives towards the line and sets the benchmark time of a 1:26.6. Next up it is going to be possibly Schumacher, or is it Myron Pill? It's going to be Myron Pill now around in the final corner. Is a little bit off the time. About 6 tenths now. Sven Schumacher will be looking for yet another pole position as he rounds the final few corners now. And it is Schumacher. Goes 4 tenths faster than his teammate. Next, Anthony on a lap. No, it's Skalski starting his lap with his special Japan helmet. I wonder if he's put any weave designs on that. So it's going to be Bean who goes P3. Next up is going to be Smith. Smith goes behind Bean. Only 100th separator. Next up it is Fatcliffe. Fat shit. He's been slacking. Will he be able to pull it back together and possibly score some more points here today? Connor goes P3 ahead of Bean. Third car into the 126s. He's going to be feeling himself a little bit today. Khan is on an outlap, McWilliams. If you look, it says outlap next to his name. Oh no, he's not. Ignore me. He's in the... Well, we won't be watching Khan this qualifying, but it's going to be Anthony now goes P4 just ahead of Ratcliffe by 11 thousandths. But Rico Van Basten is... Anthony and Rico are exactly the same time, but Rico put it in first, I think. Yeah, Rico put it in first. As meanwhile, it is going to be Rank who has started his lap. It's going to be Larson who's also just started his lap. So it's going to be Kasper Skowski with his special helmet. Goes P7, does Kasper Skowski. It is a solid game, but we have 2 drivers still on the track. It is going to be Rank and Larson. Larson who's invalidated though, so it's going to be Rank, the man to watch. Let's see what he can cook. Comes out of Spoon. And he's going to be on the long straight onto 130R. Let's ride on board with Rank as he comes through 130R now. Do not lift. He doesn't lift into the late breaking point of the final chicane. We've had heartbreaking moments here across all tiers. But it's now going to be Rank going across the line, and it's P7 for Rank. P6. What? How does that happen? Larson obviously coming into the pit, and it is going to be the obese monster now starting his first lap. I haven't called him that since he won his 3rd title. Not in line to win a title this season. Oh, it did take Khan's time away. Khan must have invalidated the FIA on it. Not taking any shit from anyone cutting corners. The FIA doing a better job. Meanwhile, it's going to be Fox Johnson now coming up to 130R. Round in the final few corners with his bright pink helmet. And Fox Johnson beats off Schumacher for pole position. Provisional pole for Fox Johnson, returning to form. So who is out on the track on a lap? No one. Meanwhile, I'm going to drink some drink that I wish would sponsor us, but is never going to sponsor us because we're not big enough. Fox Johnson is a secret weeb. Closet weeb, Fox Johnson. No, Prime. There is no lobby restart as far as I'm aware. It's kind of mid, honestly. I like the orange flavour and the lemon lime flavour, and that's about it. But meanwhile, we look to see who's about to start a lap, and it is going to be Smith looking to improve on his woeful P10. Rocking a purple and bright yellow. Is Khan okay? Yeah, Khan is back on the track. We are vibing now. So it's going to be Smith first to start as they do their second set of laps. Looks like his teammate's slowing down. Possibly had to give him a fat toe out of spoon onto 130R. Is there a little bit of teamwork going on here between the McLaren drivers? Wait a minute. Could you have raced Harrington? Was you told not to? Because that's a fine for Haas if that's the case. But here we go. It's going to be Smith getting a big toe from his teammate just ahead. And Connor Smith now rounding the final corner. Doesn't take it as tight as some. But it is P4 for Noah Smith. And he's going to be giving his teammate a toe back down the pit straight. And pulls out to the side. Meanwhile, it's going to be Schumacher now. Goes back ahead of Fox Johnson. As Khan starts his lap. It is now going to be Simon Van Dijk into the pits. Larson's on and out lap. Rico Van Basten is there. It is Miron, who's got a Haas in front of him. Miron, I believe, is on a lap here. Or not. Ignore. It's not Rico that's next. It might be Anthony. The Italian man in the Italian car. Rounding the final corner now. And Anthony goes ahead of Rico Van Basten. Does improve by almost a tenth. As next up it will be his teammate who comes into the pits instead. His special helmet not providing him any sort of benefits here. As now it's going to be Rico rounding the final corner. And Rico goes P3 ahead of Simon Van Dijk. Shows Anthony how to improve on a lap there. Next up it is going to be Connor Ratcliffe now, coming towards the line. It's only a slight improvement for Connor Ratcliffe, up to P7. Smith, that toe Connor gave him, exponentially helped him. Next up is going to be Khan, who now sets a time, and it's P6 for Khan. I don't like how Kizzy was able to predict that. As now we look, it's Larson, who hasn't invalidated this time. Larson with his flying dragon helmet. We're looking to put in a big result here in Japan. And Larson goes P3 ahead of his teammates. So currently the Alpine boys lock out the second row. The Williams boys locking out the sixth row. Polish brick building skills. As Fox Johnson is on his outlap. He's a little bit out of sync with the rest of the drivers on the track. So Fox Johnson choosing to have as much track space as possible makes sense. But here he goes, about to start his lap now. He won't be getting help from his teammate who dives into the pits. And Fox Johnson now starting his second lap has got to find 2 tenths if he wants to reclaim provisional pole. So here we go now. Fox Johnson rounding through the S section. Let's ride on board with Fox Johnson through this beautiful first sector. Expect a couple of whoopsie moments to happen here as drivers push hard. Get a little bit on the gravel, that's enough to throw the back end out. Meanwhile, coming into the tricky double right-hander now, late on the brakes, swing it round on the throttle as early as possible as we now come into the tricky hairpin. This long left-hander, really loop it in. Sometimes you want to take a little bit more curb to get a little bit more of a rotation on the car, but Fox Johnson choosing the wider line for a faster exit as he now drives up towards Spoon, this long right-hander onto the double left-hander of Spoon. Suzuka, one of the only tracks in the world where you go over yourself, over a bridge, making it neither a clockwise or an anti-clockwise track. It's a figure 8. But now through 130R comes Fox Johnson as he comes in to the chicane. Doesn't eat as much curb on the second part, and he's into the pits instead. Obviously not happy with how he was performing there. So it's currently Schumacher P1, Fox Johnson P2, Larson P3. And while we wait, I'm going to go do some investigation into the Haas situation. So we've got 2 minutes left. An outlap here is not a quick thing. And I expect to see every car out on the track around about the same time. In fact, it is going to be Smith, who's very early. Might be about to bump into some traffic is my only worry. Because look at the late runners coming out. So Smith is the first car on lap. Fox Johnson coming out of the pits after Smith starts his lap. Mate. Why are people so stupid? Stop putting it inside each other! You lot haven't learned. Don't put your nose inside someone else's arsehole. It's not hard. Who is it? Skowski, you should know better than this. You've been done for it yourself, you twat. Oh. Oh, what a bozo, man. Smith, though, is on a lap and has an awful amount of traffic in front of him. Connor is not going to be giving him the same sort of tow as last time by the looks of it. No, he's not. Smith having to cut through traffic here. Through 130R. It's a very busy track ahead of him. And Smith comes into the pits instead. I wonder if his lap got blocked by people. Frank was in AI. What a twat. What a twat. So it is going to be... No, it's Anthony, actually, who was on a lap. Goes P5 ahead of Simon Van Dijk. Next up, it is now going to be Schumacher. I wonder if everyone made it across in time. It'd appear they did. Other than Bean. Bean wasn't able to get out in time, and Bean is not going to be set in another lap. So Bean only managing a P11. That is a big L for that boy there. But it's going to be Sven Schumacher who improves again. Goes sub 26 into the 125s. As next up it is going to be Myron Pale who stays P8. Now it's going to be Simon Van Dijk who dives into the pits. So it's going to be Rico Van Basten who doesn't improve. Larson who's invalidated. Next up is going to be Anthony who goes P5 again. It's going to be Fox Johnson who cannot best Schumacher. Connor Ratcliffe goes up into P6. Khan goes P5. Next up, and finally, that's it. So Sven Schumacher will be pole with Fox Johnson P2. Larson is P3, who dived into the pits, not improving. Rico Van Basten is an Alpine second row lockout. Then it is Khan and Anthony, Ratcliffe and Rank. And Simon Van Dijk and Smith round out the top 10. Rank though with a 5th place because he went into to AI. Because Caspers, this game is shit. I have the easiest print screen of my life now. Oh, now we have to wait for the lobby to upgrade. Ah! Why am I in a car? No, get me out of the car. I was in spectator. No. Why am I in a car? What is this stupid game? I was in spectator mode and no, I did not pick a car. What is this game? What is this stupid game, man? You have to give me a minute as I retire. Instantly. I don't have my... Rolf, there needs to be proof, remember. You said so yourself. We need to see the footage of the... If you give me a moment. I'm not... I don't know. You have to give me a moment, because... Alright. Get me out. What is that stupid game? Ah, we're back. So it's going to be Schumacher who gets us underway. Fox Johnson in P2. Larson and Van Basten have held tight, but it's Khan who's dropping down the order. Who's dropped down to P9. I don't like the fact that my name is going to be there forever. No, I did it properly, so I didn't murder. Oh my god! Rank has flung into the wall with a massive snap. But it's going to be Schumacher who leads with Fox Johnson in P2, Larson P3. And there's a big puff of smoke as someone looks up further back. Meanwhile, Myron Pill is climbing through the field, battling out side by side with Connor Ratcliffe. I'm just trying to find out what's going on. And meanwhile, Hill and Ratcliffe are wheel to wheel. It's Khan now making a move on Conor Ratcliffe. So meanwhile, it's Sven Schumacher who leads with Fox Johnson keeping up within that 1 second window. Then it is Larson, I say he's keeping up. He's slowly but surely being dropped. Are we actually desynced, or what is going on? I need to know what is going on. So it's going to be Schumacher who's now starting to pull away from the field. Fox Johnson coming under pressure from Larson. With Rico Van Basten holding steady behind. Ratcliffe though is starting to lose touch with Myron Pill. Myron Pill has gained over a second gap now to Conor Ratcliffe. So it looks like Ratcliffe is going to be battling it out with Smith and Bean and Calm for the final few places for the points, but it's going to be Schumacher who is cruising away. So it is Schumacher with almost a 2 second gap now. Fox Johnson will be coming under pressure here from Larson. Let's ride on board with Larson as he comes up to 130R. Is gaining on Fox Johnson. Might be making a move here into the chicane. They're side by side. He's on soft tyres. Oh my god. What an absolute mad lad. But there he is. He's passed. But now it'll be Fox Johnson with the DRS. And we'll see that McLaren Mercedes slowly starts to creep up possibly. It appears not unable to get close enough. And that is going to be Larson up into P2. Let's have a look at the tyres. I didn't even think about this. So Schumacher and Larson on the softs. Fox Johnson on the hards. Van Basten. It's a big mishmash of tyre strategies here. No wonder why people are being gapped randomly. Okay then. Well, I have no idea what strategy anyone is going for. But Schumacher now has Larson trying to catch up to him, both on soft tyres. And then it is Fox Johnson on the hard, Rico Van Basten on the medium, Simon Van Dijk on the softs, Anthony's on the mediums, Myron Pill's on the soft, Conor Ratcliffe's on the mediums, Smith is on the hard tyre, and then Bean on the medium with Khan on the hard, Rank on the soft, and Skowski, who must have pit for damage because he is well far away. I don't know. I literally said there's no lobby restart. In the briefing, there's no lobby restart. We have to see proof of the 5 second penalty for it to be removed. Like, I mean, the 5 place penalty. We didn't see what happened. It could have been ranking AI and then like. But meanwhile, it's going to be Larson now coming back under pressure from Fox Johnson as they come down the the start-finish line, and Fox Johnson, with the assistance of the DRS, gets back ahead of Larson. Further back, Bean has made the move on Smith. Them hard tyres seemingly struggling compared to the guys around them. Although they'll be looking to make them last, but everyone so far has been clean. As Bean locks up and goes into the wall! Bean locks it up! Brings out a safety car! I literally had to say everyone had been clean, didn't I? I had to jinx it. We witness the soybean lockup through the S section. And he's lost his front wing. So it's a safety car and status quo does resume. Are the soft runners saved, or is it a bit too early? Are them hards going to last? I kind of enjoyed watching someone lock up and just go into a wall. We haven't seen it for ages, so like that was... somewhat enjoyable. As here we go, who comes in? It's going to be Schumacher in, Larson also in, Myron Pill in, Frank in, Simon Van Dijk also in. There's going to be a little bit of double stacking, and Bean, to add misery onto his day, picks up a 5-second time penalty to boot. Soy Bean should be L Bean. But yeah, the hards looking to go to the end. Their tyres might die off towards the end. This track, not the kindest on tyres, if I remember rightly. And all it takes is another safety car, and that's... Skowski's had a stinker. Skowski is still last place. Although, and he's on medium tyres, they're not going to last. But it will now be Fox Johnson who leads with Rico Van Basten on his rear. Anthony in P3. Connor Ratcliffe P4. Smith P5. Let's have a look at the big gainers and losers. So, big gainers, Smith currently up 4. Biggest loser is Schumacher down 6, although he has Pitt along with Larson, who's also down 5. As well as Skowski down 2. That special helmet he's wearing. I don't think the hards will last though, Biden. 20 laps minimum on hards is gonna be a struggle. But they're gonna be losing a lot of pace to the fresh mediums or fresh softs. Will the safety car be in this lap? Tyres, so those who stopped all went on to hard. So from Schumacher down, other than Scousey, are hard. Those who stayed out were either hard or medium. So Fox Johnson, hard. Rico Van Basten, medium. Anthony, medium. Ratcliffe, medium. Smith, hard. Khan, hard. And Skowski, who's bringing up the rear, is on used medium or older mediums. And of course, we've only had one DNF, which is me, because for some reason it spawned me in. It didn't pick a car the whole time, spawned me in. And we're on the way, and Fox Johnson does get a good start, looking to get a big gap on Van Basten, but it's Anthony who was gaining on that straight with that medium tyre. Ratcliffe holding steady right behind. These medium tyres will be wanting to drop off the hard runners. We might see a little bit of gamesmanship here from Smith, maybe trying to play the team role for Ratcliffe and hold up the other hard runners. But right now, Connor doesn't seem to have got the temperature as Anthony runs it deep. And that is Anthony dropping down the order. And he drops to P9. As meanwhile, Fox Johnson now looking to keep Rico Van Basten, who's now going to have a hungry Ratcliffe, who would like a podium, I could imagine. As Schumacher sends it up the inside of Khan. Both of them are hard. And as Schumacher sends it up the inside of Khan. And he's now on the outside. Hangs it out and he's there. Done past Khan. And he's now going to send it up the inside of Smith. Schumacher's on a charge. Sven Schumacher, not to be taken lightly on them fresh hards, is penetrating the field. You missed the music. Yeah, there was Tokyo Drift earlier, Duck. As now Larson is looking to follow suit behind. As Khan is dropping down the order. And someone looked to a straight line and it's Smith. Smith goes straight. And he drops behind Skowski. Hopefully no damage, but we've seen moments happen there. But Ratcliffe is now under pressure from Sven, who looks to go around his outside on the fresh hard tyre. What an absolute criminal move. But he's pulled Ratcliffe's pants down. Schumacher is penetrating the field. Leaving bodies left and right. Like it's Mason Greenwood with his missus. And he's now going to look to get Rico around the outside of the hairpin. He's already clear. Rico just slots in behind and Schumacher, any place he wants, he's disposing of them. They're like corpses. He's just throwing them to the side. Schumacher charging back through the field. Let's ride on board as he now hamps down Alex Fox Johnson. Making good use of these fresh hards. Fox Johnson looks a little bit loose. Schumacher though slots in to his toe. Will he try and get him into 130R? Will he wait? He's got the overspeed. He's got the toe. Lifts off the throttle slightly, slots him right behind. You know he's about to take this child to the shops. Sven now through the first of the chicane, through the second bit, gets a better drive with the fresher tyres, and here he comes. Gonna have the DRS, and he's gonna push it to the limit. DRS, oh normally DRS now enabled, and here we go in the toe. Fox Johnson covers the inside. Sven Schumacher side by side round this long right-hander. They're wheel to wheel. Fox Johnson gets a bit loose, and Sven Schumacher with the inside as they enter the S-second. Here's Sven Schumacher all the way through the field, back into P1. Woo. Meanwhile, further back, Larson and Barn Pill are starting to make it through the field. As we see Ratcliffe is having to defend off Larson. Larson with the fresh hards looking to dispatch the rat. He's like a rat in the water. He's drowning. He's being swamped under. Is he in too deep? Because Fox Johnson's been dropped by Schumacher already. Schumacher's put the burners on. I was a Schumacher fan when Schumacher was driving, and Larson has mugged off Conor Ratcliffe. And next up it is Myron Pill. And will he be able to stem the bleeding? Or is he going to bleed out and drop to the back of the field on their mediums? They're going to be starting to fade as meanwhile Rank and Khan. Rank getting past Khan now. And yes, AFJ will be pushing hard because he's being dropped already. But Rico also just about hanging on with AFJ. And they need to hold on here. Because if they're going to pit, they're going to want them fresh tyres to regain the time. As meanwhile, Myron Pill up the inside of Connor. Oh, there was almost a little bit of contact. Connor getting a little bit loose. And it's now going to be Simon Van Dijk looking to once again sink Connor's day a little bit further down into the depths. McLaren, that safety car, giving him headaches and nightmares. As it's going to be Simon Van Dijk side by side. This is not a place you go side by side. Myron Pill though a little bit slow there. Simon Van Dijk goes deep. And it's going to be Rank looking to make the move. Oh my god, the guys are almost killing each other. Larson and Van Basten swap over. We see a little bit of a puff of smoke come out the back of Fox Johnson meanwhile. As Myron Pill still ahead of Ratcliffe. But Van Dijk has got the pair. And Alex has been dropped and Larson will be gaining on him with them fresh hard tyres. Connor will be hoping that he can just about hold steady with these guys. These are the guys he's racing. He goes onto the grass. Connor means action. But Myron Pill holds him off. If only Anthony's girlfriend had held him off, we wouldn't be having what's happening now. And it's very tight between the next 6 cars here. And Myron Pill into the pits. Does Myron Pill have damage? And he's now going to be Rank getting past Conor Ratcliffe. Maybe the medium's starting to fade because Khan on the same lap old hards is looking like he's about to absolutely mug him off. Mate, Myron Pill went super slow through that corner. I had no idea what was going on. But Pill back into the pits. He went so slow. Fox Johnson though outside of a second. Larson gaining steadily on him. Meanwhile Khan has dropped down to P10. Bean up into P8 and Anthony P9. They're hustling and bustling. As we see a lock up and it's going to be Skowski making a send on Khan now. And that, oh what a move in the hairpin. Skowski now up into P10 in the points paying positions. But Fox Johnson now has Larson all over his rear. And it's a big rear of that. That Mercedes, we're going to be making it as wide as possible. Rear light flashing, trying to get into that DRS of Schumacher. Holding on for dear life. Like a baby suckling on its mother's nipple. Fox Johnson trying to suckle onto Sven's rear to keep that DRS. I don't want to go to race director while we're about to witness this. As here we go. Larson around the outside. A little bit of wheel to wheel. But Fox Johnson goes a little bit deep. Just about holds off Larson. The two of them mightily close. Never a better way. It's all about the imagery. It's about creating images in people's heads. Meanwhile, Connor is the head of this train. He has Soybean right behind him. Soybean who locked up to bring out the safety car. Now putting the pressure on Connor's rear. Just make sure you don't lock up and blow his back out, okay? As we see a big puff of smoke coming from Rank ahead. Bonjour. And there is Simon Van Dijk picking up a 3-second, unable to keep it between the white lines. But Sven has really started to prove his pace, and Larson now is right on the rear of Fox Johnson, looking to make a move into the hairpin. Here they go, here's the switchback. Not much space there left. As meanwhile, Van Basten now pits, first of the guys who didn't pit under the safety car to pit now. And Van Dijk is gaining on this pair. Another safety car, and that is going to be big trouble in Japan for Van Dijk. That 3-second penalty is going to be a pain in the arse to remove. And by that, I mean gap them. But anyway, we look as Schumacher domination used to bore fans back when it was Michael Schumacher, but Sven's Schumacher domination is definitely bringing some thrilling racing as he battled back through the grid. Meanwhile, Fox Johnson now holding up Larson and Van Dijk. Rank is starting to gain on this trio, and Bean has Connor pit. Connor must have pit along with Anthony, both ahead of Myron Pill still. Connor on the hard, Anthony on the hard, Myron on the mediums, maybe looking to make some incisions and gain some time on the guys. Meanwhile, Larson holding steady behind Fox Johnson here. Will he now make the move on AFJ? Will AFJ prove to be a moving chicane that you just can't quite get past? And here we go. Larson around the outside is cleanly past Fox Johnson. Now be setting his sights on trying to gain on Schumacher. Meanwhile, Smith and Skowski both into the pits. Skowski on his way out. Smith is going to be dropping down the order as Fox Johnson looking to keep Van Dijk at bay. Connor goes to P9, Smith comes out P13. On the medium tyre though, and has the freshest tyre out of everyone. Everyone else, I believe, went for hard. Skowski, no, on the mediums. Myron Peel on older mediums, and then you got Anthony and Ratcliffe on hard tyres. And Ratcliffe is starting to pull Anthony, drop Anthony off a little bit. Meanwhile, Larson, there or thereabouts, holding toe with Schumacher. Fox Johnson will be hoping to keep onto the rear of Larson, but it does have Simon Van Dijk close behind who can put the pressure on with the fresher tyre. Fox Johnson has only got 12 laps left to go. Them hard tyres, is he going to go soft in the end, or is he going to look to go for the medium tyre now? And meanwhile though, Larson has gained a little bit on Schumacher, maybe got the superior setup, does the Alpine, to the Haas driver. But it's Fox Johnson going side by side and looking to get back past Larson. And Fox Johnson showing he's got the dog in him. Really putting a fight on these guys. But this three-man train looking to gain on Schumacher, and Fox Johnson once again lowering the gap even more so. Van Basten currently 4 seconds ahead of Ratcliffe, with Anthony another second back. Ratcliffe has dropped Anthony off, so it's a battle for the final points paying position currently between Anthony and Myron Pill. But don't write Skowski out of that, and Smith could be an outside contender who could seek his way in. But right now the thrilling battle is the battle for P2. Fox Johnson still needs to pit. He's holding on for a safety car, I could imagine. But where will it come from? Bean currently P6 but has a 5-second time penalty. Khan yet to pit in P7. So a couple of these hard runners looking to make it last. As we see Sven Schumacher dropping a little bit off the pace. Fox Johnson, Larson and Van Dijk seeming a little bit quicker than him this lap. And Fox Johnson now pits, so Larson, free, clear air, can see his target ahead. He's now on a Haas sandwich. Has no Van Basten to help him out here. It is a 2v1 Fernanda. Can Larson fend off both these Haas's, or is he gonna feel the full force of one of them? Meanwhile, Rank holding steady there or thereabouts. Rico Van Basten goes up to P6. I believe he has pit. Rico has pit, so gets the undercut done on Fox Johnson. Fox Johnson comes just out ahead of Ratcliffe on the medium tyre for him. And Khan comes out ahead of Smith. So this pair will be looking to gain on the cars ahead. Meanwhile, Myron Pill has been passed by Kasper Skowski through the S section. Unexpecting to see that there, though. It's Van Dijk now all over the rear of Larson. And Schumacher has maybe pushed a little bit harder this lap. But it is indeed hammer time for Fox Johnson. And he's got to make up a lot of time. Where is his gap to the leader? He's got 22 seconds to make up. As Larson goes wider. And it's going to be Van Dijk. It's currently a Haas 1-2. Although that 3-second time penalty for Van Dijk, as Marlon Pill picks up a 3-second time penalty to add misery to his day. And this battling Rank has gained on this pair. Van Dijk looking to cover the inside. Larson around the outside, wheel to wheel for this pair. But Van Dijk with the inside holds him at bay. But Van Dijk has got to somehow shake Larson and Rank outside of a 3-second time window. I can't see it happening. As meanwhile, Rico has a Fox Johnson now who's going to start putting the burners on and start catching on him. And what can he cook on the medium tyre? So it is going to be Schumacher who leads Van Dijk with Larson P3. Rank, who's now within that 1-second window of the car ahead. And now it's going to get spicy, I can imagine. But Schumacher seems to be holding steady. Fox Johnson now gaining, but Rico is gaining on Bean. Bean with that 5 seconds as well. He's really going to have to look after them tyres. He can't afford more lockups. It's going to exacerbate his tyre wear and really put him in a dangerous situation for punctures possibly. So let's see where we can expect some action. The Ferrari boys currently locking out the final 2 points paying positions. Ratcliffe keeping that second gap, jail thereabouts. Meanwhile, Marlon Pill wheel to wheel now with Smith as they come into the S section. Oh, Myron, you big dumb twat. Myron has wing damage, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of on him. He goes straight on, locks up. Myron Pill is having a Myron Poo race today. But having watched that live, that was on Myron, if I'm honest. Meanwhile, Larson now gaining, and this trio has been gaining there or thereabouts on Schumacher. Larson, don't rule him out for maybe a race victory here. If Marnkrill crashes out on purpose. I don't know. Are we very sad? Meanwhile, Fox Johnson has made the move on Rico Van Basten. And that's Fox Johnson up into P6. Next up is his teammate in Bean. He's only got 7 laps though to do this. Myron Peel comes into the pits. Locks up and speeds. And retires from the race. So the front 4 are getting tantalisingly closer and closer together. Meanwhile, Bean will be hoping to fend off Fox Johnson, his teammate. Fox Johnson reserving for Mercedes. Oh my god, the car didn't go through turn 1. The car actually retired in a good spot. So, Schumacher leads with now Larson hot on his heels. Although Schumacher through 130R seems to gain 2 tenths. Just seems to have it down. And Larson's rear light flashing. Might come under pressure here from Van Dijk and Rank. Meanwhile, it's now Ratcliffe with Skowski behind him. Who's got past his teammate. And Khan slowly making gains on this group. But Van Dijk all over the rear now of this Alpine of Larson. As we get a beautiful shot as they crown the final part of the snaking section. And Rank there, just lingering like a bad smell. Like a, you know, a fart bomb that you'd play a prank with. And there's a big puff of smoke coming from one of the drivers, possibly Larson there. Big lock-up, losing a lot of time. Meanwhile, Fox Johnson is inside that 5-second penalty of his teammate. And Bean is very much struggling in that hairpin too. Bean might have another straight-on moment and absolutely mess it up. I would argue that he drove into the side of the McLaren through the right-hander when they were side by side, thus offsetting the McLaren, thus then him driving back into the McLaren rather than just taking a slightly wider line and leaving enough space for both cars. But, you know, let egos be egos. Whatever helps stop the ego from popping. Meanwhile, Van Dijk has got back past Larson. This pair battling it out. They're almost within a second of Schumacher. I say that and Schumacher finds 2 tenths from nowhere. I'm going to just quickly make Myron shut up. As here we go, they come into the hairpin once again. Van Dijk looking to get a bit of a lock up on the rears there. As they look to catch back up to Schumacher, but there's no doing. Schumacher is playing very safe. It was in the middle of the corner. I'd say it was, I'd have said it was more on Peel to not hit him. If it was on exit, I'd have said yes on Smith, but it was in the middle of the corner, which means he's pinched in more so. But it's going to be Schumacher still leading with Van Dijk P2. It is Rank now putting the pressure on Larson. Maybe thinks about a move into the chicane. Thinks better of it though. Didn't want to be too late on the brakes and just fly past. And it is going to be Van Dijk who leads this trio, hunting down the race leader. Meanwhile, Fox Johnson gaining on the team. And Prank looking very racy here. Probably deploying, I would imagine. Might be looking for a 2-for-1, especially as he comes into turn 1. And then he misses the apex horribly. And all that hard work gets Thanos snapped away and he's back down to P4. I was getting excited for a second, but I've been let down by Prank the Chav. But Fox Johnson has gained slowly but steadily on his teammate. And Rico Van Basten has had a solid race in P7, doing a big show in this season. He's been mainly reserving, but proving that he's got it in him. As Ratcliffe is P8. Then it's Skowski and Anthony ran that top 10. 11th is Khan, who has gained hand over fist on the drivers ahead. He might be looking for that final point. Smith is nowhere to be seen though in P12. So the battle for P2 is where it's cooking. It's good to believe that they can do it. But here we go as they come back through 130i. It's Larson all over the gearbox. Rear diffuser of Van Dijk. Thought about it for a second. Got a little bit loose into the braking. Almost taps his rear. But carefully does it. All this battling though as we now come onto the DRS straight once again. Rear lights blinking. Larson pulls out to the inside. Prank looking to go even more on the inside. Van Dijk loses 2 places. Prank up the inside. Not close enough. All but the second apex. Has a little think about it. They're going to be side by side now as they come into the S section. And they keep it steady. Larson up into P2. Van Dijk drops 2 in a row. As Ratcliffe is now battling with Skowski. Something must have happened there. Because Ratcliffe's dropping back. Coming under pressure now from the Ferrari boys. But Van Dijk has to think Fox Johnson has been gaining quite a bit. He's almost within that second now of Bean. But this trio still battling for the 2 remaining podium positions. Van Dijk, all he needs is one. That almost looked like another invalidation or another track limit. All he needs is one of the other guys ahead of him to get a 3 second. He's back in the hunt for a podium. And he's very fast through 130R. Really puts the pressure on Rank. With his Red Bull helmet. Oh! He gets very loose around the final corner. And that is going to hamper his any chance of making an attack. Meanwhile, Rank now looking for a move on Larson as he's going to have a drag race with the Alpine. Williams and Alpine wheel to wheel. And that is Rank up into P2 and hunting down Schumacher now. Fox Johnson has dispatched Bean. And Rico van Basten has been slowly gaining on Bean. If he can keep it up, Bean might lose a position because of that penalty. I don't know how he saved it. He must have been listening to the music before. Meanwhile, they're battling. Oh my god, they're 4 wide. Conor Ratcliffe holding the guys up for the final few points. We switched to it and they were wheel to wheel, tandem training. But Sven, through that first sector, is monumental because he gains like 6/10 on the trio behind. But I think Van Dijk was listening to the stream because that drift, woo! Don't know how he saved that, but he managed to do so. But now Larson was wanting to get back past Rank. We've only got 2 and a bit laps left to go for the drivers. As Schumacher now losing a lot of time to the guys through Sector 3. Rank is almost in that DRS range. Next lap, he could be in striking distance to gain that DRS and put some pressure on the Haas driver who's kind of been living comfortably. But the DRS opens and no one seems to be close enough to make a move. But Rank gaining on the main straight is within a second. Will he be able to stay there? As now the big battle to watch is going to be Ratcliffe and the Ferraris. And Khan as they now come onto the main straight now. The Ferraris looking to tandem drift one another. Giving each other a drag. Conor having to get defensive. It's going to be Skowski looking to go around the outside. No doing no. Conor fends off the Ferraris for another lap. He's only got 2 more laps to go. He hasn't gained as much on Rank this time. Rank looking a little bit racy. That steering wheel is atrocious. How much ERS has Sven saved? Not as much as you would have thought. Must be running a higher downforce. Meanwhile, Skowski and Anthony trade places. And then Anthony gets a bit of a lock-up. Contact between him and his teammate. Doesn't look like any damage. But the Ferrari's squabbling like the Ferraris did in real life Monza. Anthony and Skowski wanted to score more points than one another. And they're technically that's my team principal. I forgot about that. But Schumacher absolutely has deployed heavy battery as he starts the final lap. He's ahead of Rank. It's going to be Van Dijk and Larson though battling it down the main straight, and it's going to be Van Dijk ahead into turn 1. Fox Johnson not clear within that 3-second time penalty, and now we switch to the battle for P8. Is Connor going to come under pressure as we see Skowski under pressure from Khan? Khan gets the much better drive out of the final corner. Skowski slots in behind looking to get a toe. Anthony not close enough to make a move on Ratcliffe. He's nursed them hard tyres well enough. My throat hurts. I haven't done this for a while. But Connor looks to have held off the Italian man in the Ferrari. Meanwhile, it is going to be Schumacher now coming around through Spoon. This double apex left-hander can make or break many a lap. Getting too much curb on the inside slingshots you very wide there. Rank almost invalidate, gets a track limit warning there. But it is going to be Schumacher with a stable lead. Rank, who's dropped off Van Dijk as well. Larson might want it on the track. They're battling wheel to wheel as they come through 130R. He's not going to get it on the track. It is going to be Schumacher rounding the final corner. And Sven Schumacher takes the race in. Rank P2, Van Dijk P3 on the track, but loses out to Larson. Meanwhile, Connor Ratcliffe, the battle for P8 because Anthony is gaining and gaining. Gets aggressive, gets a bit of a lock-up, and he's going to lose out to Khan. Ratcliffe comes home P8. Khan will be P9. Baston gets Bean on with his penalty. And Anthony crashes across the line. Smith, the final driver. We had 13.5 drivers today. And Smith crosses the line. Comes ahead of Anthony. But Sven Schumacher is your race winner today here in Japan. The final race of the season. Frank and Larson round out the podium positions. Tier 1 Season 9 has been wrapped up. We've still got Tier 2 and 3 to go. And then next season, which we will have more information on Wednesday about. But there we have it. There's your race standings. Schumacher wins. P2 for Rank. P3 for Larson. Van Dijk comes fourth after that 3-second time penalty. Fox Johnson was just shy of treeping into range. Van Basten though gets bean by 3/10. But we're going to get ready to do the interviews. And that means we're going to head to an intermission break quickly.
You know why you really gotta say shit. I've been working through them hard, I need a vacation. I'm gonna do a wave, out laying down a pavement. Got a water than a super soaker when she spray it. Everyone loving my music like it's Ray May.
already made, open the oven. I had to break it, I'm a movie star, you can call me Kevin Bacon. You were like my dad drop, you can fake it.
Shit. I forgot to unmute the stream. Okay. Talk us through your race in Japan, Sven, because that was a thrilling lap after the safety car went live.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well, I started obviously on softs, and then the safety car came out on lap 5, I believe. Then went back in lap 8 or lap 9, one of those. And yeah, I just saw everyone in front of me was a bit slower or a bit off the pace or not hitting apexes or taking lines I take. And then I just went round the outside, down the inside, and yeah, I really enjoyed it out there.
I believe the word to use would be cooked. You cooked after that safety car restart.
Thank you very much.
And with the season break coming up, how do you plan on relaxing?
Driving PCL.
Understandable. Is there anything else you'd like to say though before we go down to P2?
Thanks for everyone. GG's on P2 and P3. And thanks to everyone for my Haas reserve seat. And for the commentators, of course, for the interviews. And maybe until next season.
Well, we look forward and hopefully see you again next season. But thank you very much. And congratulations once again in winning here in Japan, the best track ever.
I also think that.
Let's get P2 up now. Hello, Mr. Rank.
Can you drag ice cream up here as well as my engineer?
I'm not going to bring mine uphill because it's been getting heated in public. So
Ice cream.
I've got ice cream up.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
But for the sake of how heated I've seen it get in public, I'm not going to risk mine coming up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it might get angry next.
It might get angry. So I'd like to not have an angry end to the stream. But Prank, after that 5th place, and there's a big confusion between the whole FIA about the rules.
Yeah.
Because of previous ongoings.
Yeah.
We
It's
sadly.
a joke.
I mean, you didn't start last.
I think I started quite far back.
You
did
started
start
alongside me because the game spawned me in for some reason.
Yeah, which is still last.
Cheers. But you're still here on the 2nd step of the podium.
Yeah.
Your race must have been absolute chaos. Talk us through it.
Well, obviously 5th place. I can't blame anyone for that. Casper was following me pretty close behind, and obviously you've mentioned in previous streams not to follow too close, or the guy ahead will get 5th place. But I can't blame him for that. I mean, it's Quali, it happens. But I was hoping for a restart, especially with you, the host, glitching out of the lobby. So I thought it would be desynced. So I was hoping for a restart, not because of my 5th place, but like because it would be decent, obviously, and obviously having my 5th place removed would be nice as well. Since in the past, I clearly remember Lund getting a 5th place grid penalty, and instantly there was a restart.
So
Even when we didn't restart ever.
I haven't been one to restart when others
Yeah,
have
no,
been
not
host.
yeah, not. It's not your fault. Obviously, different hosts, different rules.
We're
I don't
gonna
know
clean
what.
that up. We're gonna clean it
Yeah,
up for
yeah,
next season
yeah.
because this
Yeah, I
game,
appreciate it.
the game hands out 5 places like it's going out of fashion. Clearly,
I think we should just have a lot of restarts, like every race, regardless.
the reason you possibly can't do that is because if you've got a dry quali and a wet race.
Yeah, but you could look at the weather information, obviously, in Quali and gauge it with that. But obviously, whatever FIA does, not everyone's going to be happy. That's what I learned from the server. There's always going to be a couple that will moan and complain every single time, no matter what you guys do. So I'm not too fussed about it. I was just a little bit on the unhappy side when it didn't restart.
Understandably.
Yeah, and obviously, with that going through, I was super confused. I was not ready with my tires. My fuel was not ready.
Oh.
My tire pressures, actually, they were ready, but basically, I was driving blind. Thankfully, my engineer was with me. Big shout out to Ice Cream. Thank you very much.
Who isn't
Got
going to
me
win
through the
tier
race.
3?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I will.
Also, champion for tier 3 as well. Schooling these kids in tier 1 and tier 3. But yeah, he helped me navigate through a lot of bullshit and giving me crucial information, especially the last couple laps. I would say last towards the end of my hard stint, which is a very long stint. Um, Basically, a race summary. Was not prepared. Crashed out in sector 1. After the S's, I was on softs. I was shouting down my mic why we're not restarting. But yeah, Ice Cream got me to cool it off a little bit after a couple laps, and we'll just head down from there. Bean unfortunately crashed out, and well, fortunately for me, that brought out the safety car, and I put on hards, and after that, I was just tire saving till the end of the race. I knew I could get the guys ahead who didn't pit. Drivers like Alex, there was no way I would win on track against him on pure pace, so I had to baby my hard tires towards the end. Like the last 5-7 laps is where I would would be fighting him. He was catching up a lot, but unfortunate for him, obviously. Big shout out to Bean as well for saving my ass big time. And
we may have watched him lock up and just go straight into a wall.
yeah, I didn't get damage. Aikido matrix, turn the car around, make sure my rear tires hit it, not my front wing.
Oh, we didn't see yours. We saw Beans.
Oh, Beans was that?
We didn't see what happened to you. We saw you go off. We didn't see what happened though. Bean, on the other hand, straight into a wall.
Bean got caught lacking 4K on stream. Yeah, but yeah, he saved me a lot, and I was planning quite a bit to catch up to Schumacher, especially with the Rollerton and the Haas fighting, the second Haas. So it gave me a chance, breathing room after I passed Rollerton. Rollerton, generational talent, obviously is really quick, so it was hard to keep him off. But I think their tires are obviously way worse condition than mine. And Schumacher got away lucky, I would say. I don't mean that in like a cocky way. I just made one big crucial mistake into the hairpin, which lost me like 7 tenths, and I lost out DRS by 2 or 3 tenths towards the end. So, but I think, like you said, I think he was managing his ERS as well. So I don't think the results would have changed even if I had DRS. But what ifs? I could always hope.
Yep.
Sharp ice cream. The fat. Luke, you dead? Yeah, he died. All right, I'm taking over this
He
stream.
punched
Boys.
his PC again.
I'm taking over this stream. Violent, your team is shit, man.
United.
Ah, I'm back. Anyway, so Peter, will you be returning next season?
If I can be asked, I don't really know. Probably.
Anyway, I think that is it for the interviews today. Anything else you two would like to add after you've banished Frank back down to the Shadow Realm?
Where's he gone? Did you move him?
I didn't move him.
Oh, it's probably Rolf then. Or Radcliffe.
I think it was Connor the way he flashed his hand quickly.
He wants me to say one last thing. He wants me to tell that Byron's team is shit, and yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll see you in Japan.
Yeah, I'll see you in Japan, Askren. I'm not going to let you win that. I've got to win. I've got to finally win. I can't get Zerveld again.
Yeah, I'll try and start from the back, so I'll see what I can do. Yeah, see you then.
Laters. Anyway, that's been it for Japan Tier 1. Tune in on Sunday as the Tier 2 drivers take on the tricky, twisting Suzuka circuit. Anyway, that's been me, Martin. Thank you, and goodbye.